Hey, what's up? How's it going? I hope you're doing better than me because I lost 100 shares of Altria. I'm not going to get the dividend. They were stolen from me just before the ex-dividend date. So we're going to Tarantino this. You know how it ended. We're going to go back. I'm going to tell you exactly why I sold that particular covered call. I took a bit of a risk. I gambled, and in this case, I quote-unquote lost. I still made money because with covered calls, if you do it right, you will never lose money. The only downside is not making as much money. So as you can see on the screen, this is Altria's dividend card from Seeking Alpha. Very nice yield with a forward yield of almost 7%. They pay out about 75% because companies like them don't want a lot of cash sitting around. They don't want to have to worry about politicians and government entities trying to come after their money. They pay 86 cents a share, and the ex-dividend date was March 24th. Keep that date in mind, it is very key. I sold a covered call. If you don't know, an options contract is for the control of 100 shares. It gives somebody the option to buy those 100 shares by a certain date. So as you can see on the bottom of the screen here, I did sell a April 23rd, 2021 $46.50 call. I own 100 shares of Altria, so they are covered by the call. So those shares had to have been $46.50 by April 23rd. Now I sold that in the money, which means when I sold it, it was above $46.50, as you will see. So I got a very nice premium for that. $234 or $2.34 a share is mine to keep. As soon as I sold it, I get to keep that $234 no matter what. That went into my account. That's mine to keep. So let's take a look at why I sold that. Big blue arrow points to the candle that I sold on. I had been watching the price and I sold it at $46.50. If you remember, when I sold it, it was just above $47. I thought we were getting a pullback. I thought we were a little bit above resistance. And the reason I thought that we were above resistance is because if we flip over to the weekly chart, you will see now every one of these candles represents a week. Back in January of 2020, Altria went to $46.56. Then the pandemic crash happened and the bottom fell out. Prior to that, back in March of 2019, it had hit $49.46. So going back 2 years, we had not even broken the $50 mark. It had gotten close, but did not break it. So I thought the strong resistance was at about $49.50. And as you can see by the yellow line where I drew that out, $46.50-ish was the last swing high. So that was the last structural resistance that I saw. So I thought, yes, we were just above it at 47, but we were going to pull back. That did not happen. The shares kept going up. And because they kept going up, whoever bought this, remember it was for April 23rd is when the contract would expire. Now, always remember, it doesn't matter how far out. If you sell a contract that's out 2 years, the next day somebody could assign that. They could exercise the contract and you will have to sell the shares at that price. And as you see on the bottom row, I was assigned on the 23rd. Now, I got the message on the morning of the 24th, so I thought I was in the clear. I thought they were going to be my shares. Now, with the ex-dividend date, you must own the shares on that date. Doesn't matter if it's pre-market, whenever. As soon as midnight hits, if you are in control of those shares, you will receive the dividend. So I didn't own those shares at 12 o'clock a.m., therefore, I did not qualify for the dividend. So somebody stole my Altria dividend. They cut it out from under me. I'm going to get into the math and show you exactly why they would have done that. On the top bar, I did have to sell my 100 shares at $46.50. Schwab took a 2-cent cut from that. So I got $4,649.98. Now, I didn't lose any money. So if you're lost, don't feel bad. It takes a little while to get the hang of options, but you are a more informed investor just by knowing that your options contract can be exercised at any time. It does not have to go until the date, which this was April 23rd, so a full month early they executed that contract. Here's a little bit of the math. I sold that 423.21. 46.50 was the strike price, covered call for $2.34 a share. So the strike price, $46.50. The premium was $2.34 is what the buyer paid to me. So when you add that to the strike price, that makes the break-even price $48.84. So for the buyer, if on April 23rd, Altria was at $47 a share, they would still be negative and most likely would not want to execute that contract if they still held it. Now, you can trade contracts. You don't have to hold it. You can buy it in the morning and sell it in the evening, or you can hold it. So whoever was like a hot potato, who was ever holding that contract at the end on April 23rd, if it was not executed or assigned, they would have the option to buy the shares or to just collect the difference on the contract. So the contract break even for me was $48.84, and my average cost was $45.15 on those 100 shares. When you subtract that, I had a guaranteed profit the minute I sold that of $3.69 a share, or $369. Now, that is the downside risk. So there was no way I could lose money on this. But if Altria, the cigarette company, the tobacco manufacturer, cured cancer and it went up to $5,000 a share, wouldn't matter, because I sold a contract, I would have to sell those at $46.50 a share. So that's the risk you take with covered calls. And again, like I said, yeah, it stinks I didn't get the dividend, but the minute I sold that contract, I was guaranteed $369. And now to the thief's side. The current share price, I just used today's, was $50.19, close to what it was yesterday. So the break even, if you remember, was $48.84. The unrealized profit that this person did have was $135, or $1.35. The dividend is 86 cents a share, times those 100 shares is $86, which I thought I was going to be getting, but the dang son of a gun cut them out from under me, and it stings a little bit. But again, I didn't lose any money, and their profit on that contract is going to be, as of right now, $221, factoring in the dividend and going above the break even. So that was their break even. Getting them back to zero was the $48.84. So they're in the green. I'm in the green. At the end of the day, everybody is coming out green. I'm light 100 shares of Altria, unfortunately, but I do have the cash, and I'm still debating on what I was going to do. I'm probably just going to wait for a pullback and buy them in again. I have, of course, 90 days until the next X date, so I'll end up getting them again. I'll reacquire them. And again, this was all done in my self-directed IRA, so that's just a clean and tax-free, as of right now, $369 I earned. So the two takeaways from this video are, number one, don't go against momentum. Don't try and pick a momentum reversal, because momentum is going to keep going until there's a catalyst to stop it and reverse it. I thought I could pick a resistance level going back to January of 2020, but there was no stimulus checks back then, and this has just been crazy how the market's been on such a tear, on such a rally. So always remember, don't try to pick a reversal or go against the trend, which is what I did. And always remember, with options, the closer to the share price and the less time on the contract, the more money there will be. But conversely, the further away from the share price with the less time, the smaller the premium will be. And the biggest premium comes when you're really close to the share price with a lot of time on that contract. There will be monster premiums, and those big profits can get that greed bug going, which may have hit me a little bit. Follow me on Twitter at RustyRam78. As always, you can check me out on Instagram at Dapper Dividends. If I've helped you out at any point during this video, please gently tap the like button. I like it when people tap the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section below, because you know where the comments go, because comments and expertise come from the community, from you. I am not perfect. I don't know everything. So please let me know what you're thinking. We would like to talk to you, and I will talk to you in the next video.